All right, so this weekend's recipe is going to be garlic naan. Special request from one of my cousins. So I'm gonna give this a try. So you're gonna start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You're gonna add to that 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So those ingredients, in they go. Give it a bit of a mix. And we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and you can use whichever one you prefer. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. It's your preference. If you are averse to garlic, you don't have to put it in. I like garlic, so that I'm adding it. Mix it up a bit. Okay, and then 1.5 cups of yogurt. I had to put the phone down so I could put the yogurt in, and now we're gonna mix it up. So how watery your dough is all dependent on the type of yogurt and brand you're using. I'm just using natural 100% yogurt, plain yogurt. However, after mixing this, I have a feeling you're still going to see at the bottom, as you can see, some dry flour, so you might have to add a tablespoon or 2 of water. So the idea is to mix this up really well first. I'm going in with my hands. You can wear gloves if you want. I wash my hands, I promise. So I'm gonna knead this, or mix it up a little bit, and then we'll see if we need water. So as you can still see the flour. The bottom is dry. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon or 2 in there and knead it. Okay, so the idea is we got it to a point where you just pull up your sleeves, get in there with both hands, and you're going to knead the dough really, really well for the next 2 to 3 minutes. There's no dry flour left anymore. I'm adding a little water, and you're not going to get in with both hands, and you're going to knead the dough for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so after 3 minutes or so of kneading it, this is what it looks like. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil in there, and we're going to knead it for another minute or so. So I've kneaded it for a good full minute with the olive oil in it, and now I'm going to cover it and rest it for 15 minutes or so. Alright, it's been 15 minutes. It's rested for 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a chunk of the flour out. So we're going to take a chunk out, make it into a ball, add a little bit of dry flour on the surface, flatten it out. You're just using the dry flour so it doesn't stick. Okay, and now we're going to roll it into oval, round. So you can make it, you could take a bigger chunk and make it a little bigger. I just decided to go with a smaller one because my pan is, I'm using a cast iron pan. You could use a non-stick, but I've never used one before for this. So now I'm going to add a little bit of garnishing on top, like a sprinkle of garlic, crushed garlic. And frozen cilantro. So just a few sprigs of that on top. And just chop it up really tiny and spread it out that way. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over, press it down a little so it gets kind of flattened into the bread. So now this is the bottom side. So the top side is this, bottom side. I'm heating up the cast iron on high, medium, high heat. And you can put a little tiny bit of oil in there if you want. And once it's hot enough, we're going to drop the naan in. What you're then going to do is take that water, add a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt in it, and you're going to use the baster and sort of kind of drop some of the droplets on the side. I'm going to take the baster and drop. So it's got a little bit of oil, salt, and water. I'm going to dip the baster. I'm going to place the sides like that. Bring the heat down a little low to medium. I'm going to baste the top a little bit too. In the meantime, what you're going to do is you're going to put your oven on broil. So we're going to cook this so the bottom is a little brown, medium. You might just have to just pick it up a bit so it doesn't stick to the bottom. If it starts sticking, you can baste it a little bit more. Just keep the bottom moist. And it's starting to turn up a bit. Just a little bit more till it gets a little bit more soft. Just keep basting so it doesn't burn. The top also, keep it moist. Take a look. Yeah, almost there. It starts getting a little harder. Okay. So the idea then is to take this and stick it in the broiler like that. Now you gotta keep an eye on it. Okay, 1 minute is over. We still gotta keep going because it's not brown on top, so we're gonna give it another 30 seconds. So it's been 30 seconds. You just want to make sure you're checking on it. 30 seconds. I think it's getting brown. You could turn it around a bit, maybe another 30 more. Okay, so 30 more seconds later, as you can see, it's nice and brown. Now you can just add some butter on it. You can either rub it or just leave the blob on there if you'd like. And there you go, it's ready.